Alright, let's get this over with. Yes, there is a new game mode in Plague Inc. Evolved. It is called Outbreak, and it is effectively a daily quest system. If you guys ever watched my After Inc. guide series, you guys know that they introduced a new mode into the game where, yeah, you had 3 daily different quests that would be brought up in front of you, some scenarios with special modifiers just to really challenge you, and if you completed them, you'd get some rewards to make bigger challenges easier to take on. They've basically imported the same type of system now into Plague Inc., only the rewards you pick up, as far as I'm aware, do not affect the main game, which is probably for the best. Now, some of these modifiers on these scenarios can be very, very basic. For example, this is literally just a shadow plague where the humans are more prepared and faster at curing you. That's kind of it. Nothing special there. This is a necrovirus that has the genetic drift built into it, whether it's mega brutal or not. And then some of them get a little bit funnier. So for example, here is a bacteria type where if you pop a blue cure bubble, it automatically shuts down the country's airport, port, and land border, which you can imagine is gonna be a little bit of a problem in some island nations. In fact, let's go ahead and give this one a go. Now, when you choose an outbreak, you actually have to choose between one of 3 different starting locations, and they're gonna have some different bonuses for you. Madagascar here has extra transmissions, but lower infectivity. That sucks. Korea is still a rich nation. That sucks. Afghanistan, lots of infectivity and severity, some land transmission. Seems reasonable enough. We'll give that a go, and then of course you do get to choose from your normal genetic codes. This has not changed at all. And sure, I'll play on Mega Brutal for the heck of it, even though I think this is going to be kind of tough. Alright, let's go ahead and start off in Afghanistan, something I've never done before. We'll start with picking up some air transmission, then go down a normal route of symptoms and so on. Although knowing that the cure bubbles are going to be more of a problem, there might be a stronger incentive to keep my severity very low and try to go under the radar a little longer than usual. Maybe, but I'm not going to do that. Let's try playing this somewhat normally and just see how this is going to really change up the game. I'm gonna go ahead and pick up things like the coughing. I do want to get the sneezing. It's a very good amount of early game infectivity. So far, things are looking pretty solid here so far. Spreading over into Iran, that's great. Let's think ahead of time a little bit. What's gonna happen once we do have some blue bubbles? What we do is gonna depend on where it pops up. I mean, if we have a blue bubble on Madagascar and I haven't infected the nation yet, then that's it. I'm not going to pop the bubble. I'm just gonna have to accept that they're going to get extra cure progress. Why? Because if they shut down the ports, that's the end of the game. But if I have a land connection, if I have bird transmission, maybe we can still get around that. Knowing that's the case, going for something like bird transmission suddenly looks a lot more attractive, but I am going to go for some air transmission, try to get myself into a basic airport, start spreading around the world a little bit faster. Though they have detected me kind of early on, and that's to be expected. I will definitely have to invest a few extra points in the direction of slowing down the cure. They've already started on it, apparently. That seems a little bit ridiculous to me, but okay. I mean, like, well, what can you do? We're not going to get a lot of DNA here because we're not spreading very rapidly. Afghanistan is not exactly what I would call a well-connected country, which is proving to be a bit of a problem here. Could go for things like insomnia and paranoia, which I will do to try and slow down the joining on the cure, hoping to avoid those blue bubbles for as long as we can. Probably not going to get lucky on that front, but I mean, we will see. Let's get that land transmission going with the boards. We know that boards are going to be helpful for us, and I do need some of that water transmission because we still need to get into all of the islands that we normally do. Of course, I need to get myself some resistances going. That would be wise. We'll pick up some cold resistance since we did start off in a hot country. Faster we can spread in places like Russia to try and get into Iceland, obviously, the better. Necrosis mutated. Now, see, I love that, but I can't have that right now because they're going to start popping those bubbles, and it's going to lock me out of some island nations before I'm ready, and we all know that to be true. Let's go ahead and pick up that extra bit of extreme bioaerosol. We know we want to get that going. We are in Norway. That's a good sign. Norway has a good chance of getting into Iceland and into Greenland. We will see if that ends up being enough. I do need to get myself some drug resistance here as well. And then what are we missing? Well, we just got into Greenland surprisingly early, so it's actually hot islands that are going to be the biggest issue here. Madagascar, Papua New Guinea, New Zealand, Cuba, and Iceland far up to the north. All of that's going to be important. I'm going to go for an early level of genetic hardening to try and slow down the cure, since I know that the odds are that they are going to be getting in there, and I have to resist the my urge, my instinct to pop blue bubbles once they appear, which I would expect to be any time now, but for some reason is not happening. Let's go for that pneumonia. What else would make some sense here? So based on what we're missing, it really comes down to spreading fast in some hot countries. Let's go ahead and pick up a level of insects. I think that could be useful for me. We could go for the cysts and hypersensitivity to spread faster in places like the United States, but it might be better just to go ahead and grab things like drug resistance level 2. Cuba scares me a little bit. I could see that becoming a problem. India is leading the cure effort. That is your warning that the blue bubbles are about to pop up. So watch out. Don't pop those. That right there, see, that's the thing. Now, here's the thing. With Turkey, I'm not worried. Turkey's fine. We can go ahead and click the button. But now they popped over in India because that is leading the cure effort, so this is about to shut down. So the question is, does India go anywhere that I care about? Now, I don't know if they actually go to New Zealand or to New Guinea. So maybe I could pop this and it's fine, but to be safe, I'm just going to have to... Oh, wait, they're about to close down anyway, aren't they? They are, actually. Okay, hang on. Just pop it. Just pop it. Why bother? But there goes that port. We knew that was going to be a thing. Okay. Yeah, this is how we're going to be changing up the game, man. It's a little different. We can pick up Necrosis now. I think we kind of have to. There's a good chance I'm about to lose. Just depends a lot on what happens here with New Zealand. But if we're lucky, we're going to hit that a little faster. How are we doing as far as land borders? Struggling a little bit. More birds wouldn't be a bad idea to speed that along. Got into Cuba, so come on, New Zealand. New Zealand. There it is. All right, blue bubble in Canada. Do we care about Canada? No, we don't care about Canada. We can pop that bubble. It's fine. Gotta think about it, though. Gotta think about it as we go. All right, let's go ahead and start really ramping things up here. Let's grab that total organ failure. We already should be able to get into Morocco. I don't feel too afraid of that. Let's grab the seizures next, start working toward things like insanity. We're killing very fast, but so long as we have necrosis, I don't really care. So Morocco's the only country that is currently going to be able to block me out. The birds should do the job. The arid transmission, there we go, should do the job. So we're actually in really good shape. Now, the cure is a little bit faster than I'm used to here, but that's because, you know, they got kind of an early start here. And, okay, it's actually going really fast. We've got to be picking up things like that insanity and the coma. That should ramp it back down quite a lot. Not as much as I would have expected. We're struggling in places like Africa, too. Let's go ahead and grab a little bit more transmission with, resistance with the heat resistance. And anything else here that I think would make a big difference right now? Well, paralysis slows down the cure a little bit. Hypersensitivity is not a bad thing to have. We'll just go ahead and do that. Slowing down the cure dramatically because we're killing off pretty much the entirety of the very wealthy world. That's where most of the cure is going to be coming into play. Yeah, we just shut down the port in West Africa, but like, who cares? Is that really going to matter? Now, as long as we are still infecting far faster than we are curing, I'm not feeling too scared here. So let's go ahead and grab, let's say, livestock 1 and 2. That should speed things up a little bit since I believe these do count as rural countries. Come on, West Africa, Angola, Botswana, Comoros, Congo, Central African Republic, and Togo. Sorry, I learned a song a long time ago about how to know all the countries of Africa. It still sticks with me, okay? It's nothing I can do about it. Angola's really holding out on me there, but come on. Almost got our critical mass. That's what we're looking for. Okay, there are no healthy people left on the planet, which means it's only a matter of time. So there we go. Now, we played through an entire scenario, and is it largely the same as the game that you are familiar with? Sure, but you can imagine how some of these modifiers can mess you up, especially if they're things that are just kind of built into your instincts. Like, I always just pop the blue bubbles and not even think about it, right? It doesn't even take any brain power. It'd be so easy for myself to just accidentally ruin one of my games as I just pressed on a button and I wasn't supposed to. And that's where the fun comes into play here. So that took only 471 days. For some reason, it does show a absolutely abysmal score of 1,786, and also no stars. I'm not sure. I think the score system is a little bit different for the Outbreak mode because you're supposed to be able to compare some sort of a ranking system here. So right now, I'm in the top 8% of the world right now. Mastermind. Hey, cool. I mean, what do you know? No surprises there. But here's the really fun thing, right? So once you finish off one of these different scenarios, you also get a reward, as you saw. So in this case, I have something here called Emergence, which means I get to choose from one of 3 different rewards to make me more effective going into other Outbreak scenarios. So do we want to have extra lethality and origin stats? Or do we have better world transmission or more chance of mutation? I'll take better chance of mutation because, hey, mutation is almost always going to be good. If I go down to pathogenesis, this is from completing a scenario earlier, I can make cysts better, rodents better, insomnia better, right? That's kind of how that's going to work. Let's go ahead and pick up cysts. I think I use that a little bit more consistently. So the incentive is, yeah, go ahead and play a whole bunch of these, get a lot of rewards, start trying to go for leaderboards, and be one of the best because you have all these extra bonuses helping you out. Now, see, I'm so good at the game, I don't even need these bonuses to get into the top 10% of the world. I'm not even trying. But there you go. So that's the new game mode, everybody. That is Outbreak Mode in Plague Inc. It is not a new disease. I know that's what people are looking for, is a new disease type. That is supposedly still coming, hopefully this month, possibly in January. We're gonna find out. Stay tuned, because once that's out the door, you better believe I'm gonna create a Mega Brutal guide for it. But in the meantime, if you guys want to play more daily Plague Inc., I mean, this is a way to do it, and it certainly is a lot of fun. Thank you all for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Be sure to hit that like button, leave a comment, subscribe, hit the notify bell, and I will see you guys next time.